Hey everybody, welcome. Welcome to, so I just wanted to go live here real quick and just let everybody, remind everybody what you're going to be doing tomorrow at 12 o'clock Eastern. You are going to be watching IAEI News Live, and we're going to talk about definitions. You know, definitions are very important for properly applying the National Electrical Code. And have to log in over here. So I love this stuff where they go taxis. You gotta just pick all of the items, and then you wonder, am I picking them all? There we go. All right, so that's logged in. Yes. Hey, Kara. Tomorrow we are going to be talking about definitions. So definitions are hey Nihad, good morning. Definitions are, in my opinion, really important. And the reason I say that is because depending upon whether or not you meet the definition may put you into a requirement in the National Electrical Code. And I'll give you one example. And I know Code Panel 2 deliberated this considerably with regard to crawl spaces. So we put a requirement for ground fault circuit interrupters for crawl spaces because of death. A few electricians, I won't say electricians, workers who were crawling through a crawl space. Their back went into a light bulb, and they were killed inside of a crawl space. And you got the right mixture for everything. You have moisture, you have dampness, you have a restricted space. You can't really move. You can't fall out of the way. All that stuff. So it brings a challenge to. It's a challenge when it comes to the workers in that area, regardless if you're an electrical worker or not. And 70E will tell you, shock takes the lives of people other than electrical workers. So we have to really think about everybody. So in any case, the question that came up is, what is a crawl space? And as we deliberated the whole discussion of what a crawl space was, in fact, the one person we went through we were trying to come up with a definition, and I don't think we ever did actually. I'm just going to look while we're talking. But this is what we're going to talk about tomorrow at 12. Things like this. But in any case, in the case of crawl space, which we never really defined. So in the case of crawl space, we had a discussion of the height of the ceiling, because a lot of people said, well, you've got to bend over, so the height of the ceiling has to be less than 6 foot. And then I had one person at the table said, hold on, I've been in crawl spaces with ceilings 24 feet tall. And I'm thinking, how the heck is that a crawl space if your ceiling is 24 foot? I mean, I have an 8-foot ceiling in my basement, or I think these are 10-foot ceilings. I got 10-foot ceilings, luckily, in my basement. And I wouldn't consider this a crawl space. And then you take that up a lot higher. But he worked in an industrial facility, because over a coffee pot, I got an explanation from him. But he says that the ceiling could be very high, but there's a lot of equipment. And the reason that room is so tall is because of all the equipment. So they have pipes, they have other types of equipment that are in that room. So you can't define a crawl space based upon the ceiling of the room or the area that you're going into. So, and in fact, he said that some crawl spaces. So we said at the table, we said, "Oh well, a crawl space will be you have to crawl into the location." And he was like, "Well, I've walked into a door and then had to get down on my hands and knees to crawl back underneath the equipment to get to whatever we were working on." So it was much more complicated than than it was worth to try to define. So in any case, definitions are critical. Oh, yes, Neha, the definition of a peninsula. Exactly. So it's interesting to see how important definitions are to the national, just to anything in reality. So in any case, we will talk about definitions tomorrow. We're going to talk about it live. It will be live tomorrow. And we'll talk about some of the stuff that's coming in the 2023 code cycle too. So there's a bunch of changes happening around definitions in NEC 2023. And we're going to talk about some of that as well. We're going to give you an hour's worth of definitions. And I'll tell you what, if you don't think that we can cover definitions, that we're going to cover as much as we can tomorrow at 12 o'clock. So don't forget, please, to join in our discussion around definitions. I think you'll enjoy it. What else is going on? Man, it is the end of July, Nihad. Unbelievable. June was, that's just unbelievable. Oh, you're going to be in the air tomorrow. That's right, Nihad. I know you're traveling. You're traveling tomorrow. Well, that's okay, brother. You can listen to it later and let me know what your thoughts are. But it's unbelievable that we're in July already. And NTI, National Training Institute, is coming up next week. I'm going to be there. I'm teaching a class on 70E with my buddy, Gary Beckstrand. So Gary and I are going to be talking 70E, safe work practices. We've got Monday, Tuesday. We have an open day Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday is teaching 70E. And then a buddy of mine, Dan Neeser, is going to be teaching codes and practices for overcurrent protective devices. And Tuesday night, so next week is a real busy week. These people travel from around the country. They come up to the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor, Michigan, and we talk about a lot of different topics. And I'm going to be covering electrical safety. Dan's going to be covering overcurrent protective devices, but there's a lot of other courses that this is the training for the IBEW. This is like a train the trainer event. And I tell you what, it is absolutely phenomenal to have people in the classroom. And these are actual classrooms. There's a difference between a student who is there to get a CEU credit from a student who is there to learn something so that they can go back and teach it. So we get a lot of really good questions. We get into some debates. We get into a lot of examples of where the students are teaching each other. And I learn a lot because every time I teach this class and other classes at these events, those who are engaged speak up. They tell you when they disagree with you. They tell you when they do agree with you, and they give you examples. Or they disagree with you and they give you examples, and all of that just fosters a very intense educational program. So I'm going to be teaching 70E, safe work practices. Electrical safety related work practices is the name of the curriculum. There's the book. This is what we're going to be teaching out of. And I have chapters in here that I focus on. Gary Beckstrand will have chapters that he focuses on. We talk about this. We talk about OSHA. We talk about the code. And we have a lot of fun. So anyway, I don't know why my bitrate says my bitrate setting is out of recommended. So I'm higher than what I should be on OBS for my bitrate. I don't know that I can change bitrate. My bitrate for streaming, for output, my streaming bitrate says 4,500. Let me make that 4,000. Try to see what happens. I'm going to hit apply. I just changed my bitrate. And I'm going to see if that goes from a fair connection to an excellent connection. All right. So other things that are going on. We got the IAEI section meetings coming up. Hopefully, I will be able to see you I'll be at the Western section. It says 4103. I set my bit rate to 4,000, and it says 4103, and it tells me that has to be less than 4,000. So I'm going to go back in. Tom, do you have a minute right after this live? I was working on a paper. Yeah, sure. I believe I do. Go to output. Let me go to 3990. I'm at 4,000. I'm going to go 3990. 3990. Fill the bits and hit apply. Hit OK. And we're going to see if that goes to excellent. Putting too much out over the pipe, which can be a bad thing. So anyway, I want to make sure you are there tomorrow, Tuesday, for an IAEI News Live. And remember to get out to the YouTube channel, hit the thumbs up, hit the bell. And there I am. I'm at 4099 and I am at 30 frames per second. I've got a 2-second keyframe interval. Oh, and I went from excellent to fair. Oh, look at this. I went up. I ratcheted up to 41,116. I don't know what's controlling that. Anyway, I don't really care. As long as you guys hear me and you see me, we're good. All right, so tomorrow, 12 o'clock Eastern, IAEI News Live. Go out to their YouTube channel as well. The link, did I put the link in? Yes, I did. The link for tomorrow's session is either down below or up above. No, don't hit everything twice. Remember, don't hit everything, because if you hit subscribe twice, you're going to unsubscribe. The only time you hit the button twice is when it's a thumbs down. That's what you got to hit twice. Only when it's the thumbs down. All right, so tomorrow, 12 o'clock Eastern, the link for that session is either down below or up above. It's that, I think if on LinkedIn, I believe it's up above. I think. On Facebook, I think it's down below. On YouTube, it's down below. Twitter, I don't even know if it's on Twitter. I'll tweet the link out after this session. In fact, that's all I know. All right. I think I've got everything covered. I just wanted to at least let you know tomorrow we're talking definitions. We might even resurrect Merriam-Webster. Yeah. So the official dictionary based upon the NEC style manual, I believe. Not the style manual. I think it's the manual style. Anyway, we'll take a look at that document. This is it. The Merriam-Webster 11th edition. And so we had the debate on whether or not you can use the Webster's dictionary that's online, because here's the thing. If a term is not defined in the National Electrical Code, then it falls back on maybe another NFPA document. That's probably your best bet. But the way that the style manual and whatnot, they use the 11th edition. And so I actually went out and bought it. I bought my own copy of the 11th edition of this document because it's referenced. And we'll talk a little bit about we'll talk about some of the controversial stuff that happened during the 2020 code changes, and one of the areas that you might be familiar with is the word, I think it's basin. Remember, there's the there you go. That's right, Dirty Mike. If you hit the thumbs up 3 times, you're good. You hit the thumbs down twice. Or you can hit the thumbs up once or 3 times. Or thumbs down twice. That's the key. And if you're going to subscribe, all you got to do is hit it once. Hit that bell too. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Don't forget, if you're watching this on LinkedIn, if you're watching this on Facebook, I got a YouTube channel. You got to get over there. You got to get over there, subscribe. It's free. Check out my website, thomasdimitrovich.com. I've got some resources over there, and I'm going to be putting some resources up. We had a selective coordination discussion, and I had a spreadsheet. People wanted a copy of that spreadsheet. I said I would get that to those who are registered on my website. So I need to just go through that spreadsheet and just clean it up a little bit because it's got a lot of my highlights and stuff like that. I use it as a working document. And it doesn't have the latest trip units from Eaton in there yet. But I'm going to put that one up because it's still valid. If you have those catalog numbers and whatnot out there and installed, that spreadsheet is still valid for that activity. But I do have to update that spreadsheet with the latest electronic trip units from Eaton because we revamped all of our trip units. They look great. They have much more functionality. But a lot of them just correlate with the existing table, with the existing like older catalog numbers. The performance from a selective coordination perspective is the same. So, but I still have to put those trip units there so that if you're using new product, you can use that table for that as well. All right. So anyway, we'll talk about this. We'll talk about definitions. We're going to go through some of the controversial stuff. And we'll navigate through some of the cool stuff. So anyway, see you tomorrow at 12 o'clock Eastern. Thanks for everything. Thanks for tuning in on this impromptu session. And don't forget the links down below. Bookmark it. Take a look at it. Go out to the IAEI's YouTube channel. Check mine out too, for goodness sakes. Right? All right. So that's all I have to say about that. And hopefully we will see you. Hopefully we will see you tomorrow at 12 o'clock. I'm out of here. Thanks, Nihad. And I'll, Nihad, let's talk right after I get off of here. All right? All right, everybody. Take care. Stay safe. God bless. And please stay healthy. Signing off. Till tomorrow. Thank you. Great. Thanks, Nihad.